Hello, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here.
Hey, 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 hey. How are you doing? I'm back. I'm back on Mondays. I'm calling it Math Money Mondays. What's going on, you guys? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Phenomenal Financial Freedom. I am the phenomenal STEMist, Dr. Maya Byfield. And I got to do some homework. First thing I want to say is my book, The Phenomenal STEMist, is available on Amazon right now as we speak. Take a look at it, buy it for a friend, buy it for a family member. Please don't forget to support me by purchasing this very important book that can transform multiple generations. And always don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. This is my favorite channel. So those of you watching from YouTube, take a trip over to YouTube, my channel. Those of you watching from Facebook, take a trip over to YouTube and click the subscribe button. This is my main page. But welcome to you all watching from Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Yep. Oh, what's going on? Good to see you. All right, well, I'm talking about something that is very important. And those of you, I put the link for joining me face to face. Of course, you would be seen online. So. If you want to be seen on YouTube or Facebook, jump on. Those of you who want the link to play a part in discussing different uh, different topics dealing with math and money on Mondays, Math Money Mondays. Uh, join Phenomenal Financial Freedom as a private group, and you will see the link. All right, let's get right into it. It was a terrible week last week. Usain Bolt is said to have lost 12.5 million American dollars. That's totaling about a billion Jamaican dollars. A billion Jamaican dollars was stolen, fraudulently taken from his investment account with a reputable, a so-called reputable financial institution in Jamaica, West Indies. And listen, this is the time where fraud is rampant, and you have to protect yourself. And truly, you have to protect the vulnerable. See, Usain Bolt caught it because he was very actively involved. I don't think it was his life savings. I think he had around $12 million. Um, So I don't think it was his life savings. I'm not sure about that, but I don't think it was. But there were people whose savings were also stolen in that company. And so you have to protect. His diligence helped to activate the vulnerable. And it's usually the vulnerable who gets their stuff stolen. So we're going to talk about money in the context of the top 10 most common types of financial fraud that you need to be aware of. Top 10 most common types of financial fraud. I see a few of you watching, so please do me a favor. Greet me. Say hello. Say where you're watching from. All right. Number one, top 10 most common types of financial fraud to be aware of. Number one, identity theft. Identity theft from a bank, credit card, or loan fraud. What is that? That's when somebody steals your credit card number and uses it. It's as simple as that. Steal your credit card and uses it. Hey, mom, how are you doing? I've had identity theft happen to me in this regard. Somebody got my number. Somebody got my number. They didn't have my credit card, but they got access to my credit card number because there are some credit card numbers that have these insignias on them that you can use as credit, right? Or debit. What was it? I think, what was it? What was it? My debit card that they used as credit, I believe? That's even worse. I believe they stole my identity by using my debit card because they got access to my number. I remember. That's what it was. And that's the worst kind. For whatever reason, it was helpful. I was able to get my money back. The problem was they took my cash. See, the worst thing is taking your cash out of your bank account using your credit card number, using your debit card number. At the time, young and dumb and not knowledgeable, I wanted to use my debit card as credit card. I don't do that anymore. I don't use my debit card at all, pretty much. I use credit cards and then just transfer my money from my bank to my credit cards. I took off the insignia. You know how you have debit cards where it says MasterCard on it, or you have debit cards that says Visa on it? If you don't, the risk of getting your money stolen is that somebody takes your card number and uses that credit without no this is my personal opinion. I only have my debit card that can be used with a PIN number. It does not have any credit card insignia. It does not have MasterCard on it. It does not have Visa insignia. It cannot be used as a credit. That it helps. So those of you who have credit cards, use your credit cards. Do not use your debit cards as credit. Tell the bank to take the CitiGuard, the MasterCard or Visa logo off your card, and therefore thieves won't be able to use it as credit. That's the number one way that people steal from you fraudulently. They open up credit cards in your name. They use your social security card number and change it. So what do you have to do? You have to, like, number one, keep your debit, and with your credit cards, you have to check your statements. You have to be consistent in checking your statement. The best way to do that for me is my Mint profile. I see what in all I have a one big budgeting app where I see where all my money's coming out of versus having to go to individual statements. I can catch fees that weren't warranted. I've caught a couple of fees that were not warranted that way. And you can see when something is being stolen, right? So if you notice a steep drop in your credit score, if you notice something's going wrong with your credit, It could be that someone has stolen your identity and used your credit in your name. So, what do? You have to call all the financial institutions. You have to file it as identity theft on identitytheft.gov. You got to make it. You got to file a police report. It's difficult, but you have to do that. You have to cancel all those accounts. You have to uh, change a lot of stuff, right? Change your passwords, change your everything. It's so hard. So that's why it's so important that you protect your credit at all costs. Keep your credit cards on you. Remove that credit card insignia from your debit. It just lowers your chances of your identity being stolen. Hey, you guys, I see some more people have joined. Greet me, greet me, greet me, greet me. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Very important. Number two, advance fee fraud. Advance fee fraud. What is that? Advance fee fraud. Well, that's when somebody, a thief, a fraudulent person, requires you to send money in advance of something. Like if somebody is doing something for you, they must do it first and then you pay them. This is done to the elderly a lot. They have this con artist saying, "Oh, I can find a better loan for you. I can find a better reverse mortgage for you. Just pay me a finder's fee." If you hear people talking about a finder's fee for you, walk the other way. Walk the other way. Anybody asking for prepayment for finder's fees, if their business is not on the Better Business Bureau where you can file a claim against them, they are a scammer. Run away, and report them. If you are a victim, you can't get your money back. You can't get your money back. So don't give your money to anybody. Mm-mm. Especially if they haven't done anything for you. Number three, we're talking about the top 10 common types of fraudulent behavior. Number 3, fake check fraud. Fake check. That means somebody gives you a check, asks you to give them money in return for that check, and then they'll get it later. No. That's a scammer. They said this scam has grown 65% since 2015. Right? So they send a forged cashier's check with fake information. They ask you to basically put it in your bank account and just give them the money, and then it'll come into your bank account later, and the money never comes. You get it? The money never comes. Meanwhile, you've taken money out of your bank and giving it to them. This happens when you sell stuff. I was gonna sell my car on Facebook Marketplace, but they say that when you sell on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, this is where the top scamming happens. This type of scamming happens a lot in those type of public marketplaces. And it's usually when they try to offer you well above what you're selling it for. So if you're trying to sell a car for $5,000 and they offer you $10,000, they're more likely going to give you a check for it, and they ask you for change or something, and you give them change, you getting a bounce check. You're not getting no money. You gave away money to them. What do? There's nothing to do. You can't get your money back. You can't get. You see how see how dangerous many of these fraud is. Excuse me. Can't get your money back. Yeah, it's terrible. It's really, really bad. All right. Well, number four. Number four. We're talking about the top 10 ways. Top 10 common types of fraud, financial fraud. Be aware. Be aware. Yeah, Cash App is a big risk because if you give your money to somebody via Cash App, you're not getting it back. Yeah, you're not getting it back. Mm-mm, not getting it back. So I use Cash App, and I don't use Cash App with my main accounts where I have a substantial amount of money. I use Cash App via my small business account. I don't keep lots of cash there. But I use it because it's business. It's very important for business. People need want to pay you via cash. They don't have cash on them. It's a quick way to get services. But I don't give money via Cash App. I rarely get. I don't give money via Cash App. I take money via Cash App. So the risk is not there for me with that, right? And I do Zelle, but I only do Zelle with people I know. I don't do Zelle with strangers. Because even if I make a mistake with people that I know, the people that I know will be like, Maya, you sent me $5,000. You should have sent me 500, and they'll give me the money back because they're my mother, they're my best friends. You understand? I don't do Zelle with strangers. I do Cash App with strangers, and I take money from them. Right? The one of the biggest types of fraud is using advanced fees using those Cash Apps, and you give away money. Even when I did something with Cash App with my mother, I developed, I had a birthday thing for her, and it was all receiving. It was all for her to receive. And no, don't give people money via Cash App. hmm don't say yes. Somebody asks you for money via Cash App, say, and you didn't make a plan to do that, reject it. Because once you say yes, even though you didn't like, why am I saying yes? And you say yes anyway, or Zelle anyway, you said yes. So what banks are doing is they're just doing multiple steps of, are you sure? Do you know this person? You know, do you know this person? You're only supposed to, like, they will stop you multiple times before you say, yes, I want to send $5,000. But once you bypass the bank's initial attempts to say, hey, be careful, once you it's not like credit card fraud. Like when somebody steals my money via my credit card, I can get my money back. It's insured. But you can't get it back the other way. Yeah. So in other words, don't send nothing you're scared you can't get back. That's right. That's right. And be very careful because don't put 5,000 when you meant to put 500. Be very if you're giving away stuff via your Cash App. Like I said before, I only associated with accounts that don't have a high level of money attached, where I can make that even if I make that mistake, the bank is gonna be like, you don't have $5,000 to give here. Yeah, it's just so much they could do. Yeah, can't. So much the banks can do when it comes to that. So be careful with these advance fees. Like I said before, don't pay finder's fees to people. Number four, tax refund fraud. Tax refund fraud. So this is my second fraudulent way I've been affected. I've been affected by multiple financial frauds. So I'm very passionate about thievery, being robbed. I've had my wallet, taken and used. Um, my credit card used. Yeah, but see, there's one time they stole my wallet, took the credit cards, and basically gassed up all their vehicles, and went to the dollar store and bought like $500 worth of stuff via my credit cards. I've been taken, but it's my credit card. So the credit card company removed that charge and they had to chalk it up to their insurance. It's credit cards, you see. See, my debit card did not have a credit card function on it. It does not have MasterCard logo. It does not have this is critical. It's what I learned a long time ago. Take the credit card logo off your debit because then people can't use it as credit. They will only be able to use it if they know your PIN. And that saved me. They could, because then that they would have taken my cash out. And yes, the bank would have given me my money back, but it would have taken time. And what if I needed that money to pay my mortgage? What if I needed that money to pay some kind of bill? I would have gotten the money later, but then I would have been late on my mortgage. I would have been late on my bills. You see, I don't risk my bank account at any rate. Even if I get my money back, I don't risk my bank account. So I've been stolen from, I, physically stolen from, and my identity has been stolen by taking a number and using it. And then I've had my identity theft done by number four. What's that? Tax refund fraud. Tax refund fraud. Man, it's been tough. It's been tough for me. I'll never forget. I went to do my taxes and they said, "You already did your taxes." Crazy. It hurt my heart. Somebody stole my tax refund. They stole my information and used it to get a refund for themselves. I got my refund. It just took a long time. It took a long time for me to get my refund, number one. And number two, that was the year I wanted to buy a house. I'll never forget it. And because I didn't have my tax return done, because of the fraud that happened, I lost out on a townhouse that I could have purchased for $80,000. I'll never forget it. It broke my heart. God knew what was best because I ended up getting the house that I currently live in at it's worth much more and it's a single family, it's not a townhouse. So God knew what he was doing, but at any rate, it was still heartbreaking for me at the time. It was very hard because I didn't in this situation with fraud, you don't do nothing. It's people stealing from you. It's people stealing from you. Hey, Auntie Yvonne. Never knew that you could take credit card logo off your credit card. Do it, Auntie. Yep, do it. Take it. Call your bank. Say, I want my credit card logo, those credit card logos off my. But the thing is, you won't be able to use your debit card as credit. But I never use my debit card as credit. That's what I use. That's what I have credit cards for. So if you don't ever use your debit card as credit and you only use it for debit, take the logo off. That will stop people from stealing the risk of stealing your cash in your bank. Yeah, that's painful. We've been there together, Auntie Yvonne. It's a heartbreaking experience. Heartbreaking experience. But this one was heartbreaking because, like, how you gonna steal my tax return? Come on. So what happens? You have to call IRS. You gotta, if you notice there was some unfamiliar documents on your form, if you can't, if you when you try to do your taxes, you can't do your taxes, right? Your bank blocks you from getting taxes done. That means somebody stole your refund. And I've had that happen to me. You gotta. It's very important to whenever you have documents. My mother's very diligent about this to rip up things that have social security numbers on it. Rip up. Don't put your information out there for people to see and use. Of course, you put your stuff out there in many of these accounts, and people hack into those accounts, and you hear people say your identity has been at risk. That just means your social security number, your information has been given to somebody. Somebody has seen it, and so there's a high risk that they can do stuff like this. It's okay. I got my tax refund a little later. I lost that opportunity for that townhouse, but I got a better opportunity for this house. But now, even to this day, I have to get a PIN number. I have to get a PIN number when I do my taxes. I do my own taxes. I do my mother's taxes, and I have to get a PIN number because this happened 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and I still have to have a specific PIN number to plug to say that this is really me. The government mails it to me every year. So for the rest of my life, they are protecting me from somebody else stealing my tax return. Yes, violated. Fraud is violating. You know, violating. Like I don't do nothing to nobody. Especially when I was trying to buy that house and I had perfect credit. I had a good down payment. I was ready to get a good deal. It was a short sale with a friend. I was going to do a great business activity. And I did everything right. I had great credit. I didn't have hardly any debt, and I did everything right. And I still got, for the lack of a better word, well, I'm not going to even say the word. I still got messed with. It was heartbreaking. It's like you could do everything right and still get taken from. But you know what? That's life. Hey, Corey, what's going on? Some people are that evil. They are, and they're desperate, and they're selfish, and they're greedy. And it's just you got people are people. They're selfish, desperate, and greedy. Live your life. God is going to still abundantly bless you. You'll get your money back, and you'll get tenfold. The house that I have is way better than the house I was going to get. So God be praised with all of that. Either way, if you're a victim, got a police report, you gotta file with the IRS, and make sure you protect yourself from tax return people. Like I do my own taxes and my mother's taxes. My mother's taxes are very simple. She doesn't have a lot of property that she's not really rich. So I just we don't need strangers doing messing with your documentation. Number 5. But if you have a lot of assets and a lot of things that are going on in your life financially, you may need a accountant. So you make sure you get an honest one, because many of the times it's those accountants that sell your information to others to get your identity stolen. Not real accountants, like fake accountants to get your taxes. Number 5. We're talking about the top 10 types of financial fraud. Number 5, fraudulent charities, fake charities, calling you on the phone, asking you for money. Fake charities calling you on the phone, asking you for money. They call. Listen, trust. Look deep into the charities. You can't give away all your money, and make sure when you give away your money, you give it to charities that are actually doing due diligence. Right? If they're pressuring you on the phone, if they're only accepting cash, nothing that can be traceable. Like even when I give traceable. Like I give to online giving, Adventist giving, where it's a system already set up in place, and I can, even if the church messes with my money, they can't, because I have it all done from the main institution. People are people, and you gotta watch out for fake charities. Yeah, yeah. Gift cards, unsecured websites. Like, what are they doing with your money? Are they 501(c) companies? Can you find them on Better Business Bureau or any type of find their documentation to show via the IRS that they are something charities that you can use for your taxes? If not, walk away. Yep. Connecting donations. And the donations end up going in somebody's pocket. Be careful. That happens, and they target people with wealth. Fake charities and people with needs target people with wealth. Yeah. What's up? What's with all the GoFundMe's? That's the straight. That came to my mind. I didn't want to say it, but you said it for me, Auntie. Seriously. Seriously. Be careful. People target people who they think have money, right? And they guilt your conscience. And that's something with me about me. You can't guilt my conscience. I have dedicated giving. That's me. If you don't have to be the one that has dedicated giving, you can be the one that just free for all, just give to anybody who say they have falling on hard times. Me, I give to my church. I give to a SALT organization that helps the homeless. I give to the United Negro College Fund. I have my own endowment at my Oakwood College, right? That's it. That's my dedicated charities. Robert Kennedy charity for bail bonds, right? I'm passionate about certain things. I've decided what's important for me, and that is what I'm giving. Anything else, it's very rare. It's very rare. Don't ask me. The answer will be no, or I'll just ignore the call. Like, sorry, that's just me, right? Thank you, Corey. I'm glad it's valuable information for you. I'm glad you think it's valuable information. You said it's hard to know who to trust these days. You really have to do your homework to know who and where to donate to. Absolutely. Do your homework, know your own personal passion, and be okay with saying no. Be with okay with saying no. Yeah, give to your church. Give to specific programs that you see that are heavily active, right? Pathfinders, for instance, want to go to Oshkosh, sponsor some kids. You know they're going. You know they want. You see the activity happening. Don't give blindly. Don't let people don't let people tap into your emotions. I've seen it all the time. Oh, we're gonna have this charity, we're gonna give them whatever. And what happens? They basically give their, you give the money, they put it in their pockets, and they give away things that they sell to people. So they give instead of giving $100 to the poor, they give $100 worth of phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I say, "Oh, I want to give to people. Give me money to my GoFundMe page. And I'm gonna give $100. I mean, I'm gonna give valuable stuff to the people that are in great need. I take the $100, buy 10 books for myself, and you see, buy 10 books for myself. So I basically take the $100 for myself and then give the books to them, right? So you basically bought my book. You bought my book in the name of charity. Uh, Be care of fraudulent charities. People who say they're gonna help people. You got to see them help. Number six, credit card fraud. Credit card fraud, very common, right? They steal your credit card information and buy stuff. They could steal your physical card itself, right? We already did that. Or they can trick you into entering your information on this fake website. Be careful of these text messages. There's text messages coming at y'all left, right, and center. Scam likely calls. Hey, hi, have you been seen lately? Hey, how's it going? Their number does not register in your. Listen, I don't respond to anybody whose number is not registered. I don't even respond to the hey, how is doing? Hey, it's how you doing? Who are you? And I don't even say, hey, who are you? I don't even engage people via my text or email. Don't click any links, especially you who constantly save all your passwords on your computer. Nah, Dred, I'm not gonna show you my book. I'm gonna put a fake book. My passwords are not in this book. They're not in this book. I'm not gonna lie, they're not in this book, but my fake book. My passwords are in special places. I do not save my passwords on my computer just because I don't feel like, you know, having to type it in. No, I type my passwords in. I type my password because I don't want somebody to hack into my computer, steal all my passwords, and have access to my information just by clicking a link. Don't click any links. Don't respond to people's texts because that's how they steal access to your technology. They steal access. So any suspicion transaction, anything unfamiliar, like I said before, it's so important to do mint.com. That's my favorite budgeting app, mint.com. Yeah, don't click on the attachment. Don't click. Yeah. Yeah, they clone. DeAndrea, they clone a card. Crazy. It's tough out here. It's tough out here in these streets. Be very diligent and know what's coming out of your house every month. If you know what's coming out of your house every month, you can catch credit card fraud. And once you catch the credit card fraud, yeah, once you catch the credit card fraud, you get your money back. Yeah, you'll get your money back. You'll get it back. But you gotta file a police report every time you're stolen from. You must file a police report. Number 7, we're talking about the top 10 common financial fraudulent behavior. Number 7, they take over your financial account. This has never happened to me, thank God, but this usually comes from cybersecurity threats. They've breached your data, they've gotten access to all your passwords. Be careful. Don't reuse your passwords. Don't use your passwords for things that are frivolous to things that are very important. You can't, your Facebook password should not be the same password as your bank account password. Come on, y'all. It can't be figure outable. Don't, I know you're tired of typing in passwords. That ultimately that's what it is. You're tired of typing in passwords. So you make it easy and then you make it common. But then if they catch one thing, they'll open up the other. So, especially with artificial intelligence, you could basically say, okay, what if this is a password for this person, what's the most likely password for another account? And the artificial intelligence will just give them a whole list of possible based on how you it's crazy. Let me tell you, this world, I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just trying to make you wise. Wise. Okay? So if you got locked out of your social media, that's a problem. So it's also important to have two-factor authentication. Like my especially major accounts, my Amazon account, for instance, things I have purchased authority with and my book is attached to. If I go on Amazon, it's gonna also send me a two-party. I have to go to another thing to verify. Yeah, it's gonna send me a text message. I have to put a code in. So it's called two-factor authentication. That's a very important. I do that for all my accounts, especially my social media accounts, because it's associated with my business now. It's not, I can't afford to be hacked. Can you imagine my Facebook account being hacked with all the fact how I use my YouTube and Facebook channel in the context of my business, Phenomenal STEMist? Hey y'all, don't forget, don't forget, get that book. It's on Amazon now. It's on Amazon now. All right. Number. Yeah. So if your social media account looks different, if you get hacked, change everything. Change everything. Change your passwords. Hook up, enable a two-factor authentication, as I said before, so that you can get text. Number 8. Got affected by this one. Number 8, Ponzi schemes and other investment forms. So this is basically what I've been attacked with. Number 1, I think a lot of people have, and this is what. This is Bernie Madoff, for instance. He made off with your money. Anytime somebody makes off with your money, you've been fraudulently scammed. And a Ponzi scheme is a scheme, it's an investment fraud. It's basically saying that they say, if you give me this much money, if you give me $2,000, you give me $5,000, give me $10,000, give me $100,000, I will invest for you. I will invest in the stock market. I will invest in cryptocurrency for you. Right? And and there you have it. But they don't invest nothing. Bernie Madoff did not invest anything. All he did was recruit people to give him hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he lied and said they were making, oh, you got 10% increase. They gave you these fake spreadsheets making you feel like, oh, things are working really good. But they're BS spreadsheets. And let me tell you something. Ponzi schemes, the most common type of Ponzi scheme is seen through friends, family, church. You find somebody who you trust or who trusts you, who you would never think would scam you, who you would never think would steal your money, right? That's who. So anybody coming to you with anybody who's a friend, family, elder in the church, pastors in the church, anybody coming to you with something that sounds too good to be true, call them what they are. You my family, you my friend, you my pastor, you my elder, trying to scam me. Call them out straight up. Call them out straight up. Investments and investments should be done in with credible institutions. Charles Schwab, Fidelity, not your friend. Investments are done with credible institutions. Institutions that are held liable by governmental institutions. You see, if they do something bad, the government will come in and put them in jail. There's paper trails with credible institutions. So anybody coming to you via DM, I remember people coming through DM for cryptocurrency like crazy. Unsolicited emails about how you have this great opportunity. Nah, Dread. It's a special place in hell, Auntie Yvonne. This special place in hell because you're basically creeping up on the vulnerable. Yeah, yeah. Corey says these scammers need real jobs. They are really absolutely annoying. They are bold and rude, and they try to make you think that you're wrong. Absolutely. So then you have pyramid schemes. Here's the difference between the Ponzi and pyramid, and they both pop up. They both pop up in these same environments. A pyramid scheme is they tell you the truth. They say like they give you some fake product that involves recruitment. So all any product that you have to sell and you have to recruit people to also sell, like you join me and we sell it together and then you find somebody else, that's a pyramid scheme. Multi-level marketing, pyramid scheme. You know, pyramid scheme is not a product. Multi-level product marketing is a product, but it's a product that nobody really wants or have any relevance, and it involves recruitment. If it involves recruiting people to sell under you, it's a pyramid. Right? Start a business, my friend. Start a legitimate business with a product that involves your action to sell. Something like my book. You know what I'm saying? This is a product. This is a product that I created that is relevant, that can impact people's lives, that people want. I'm not recruiting nobody under me to give them a percentage. You know what I'm saying? Pyramid schemes are about recruitment. Ponzi schemes are fake investments. Either way, people don't get rich. Only a few, right? And especially pyramid schemes aren't necessarily as illegal as Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes are illegal because you are faking investments. Report it. Yeah. The problem is it's friends, family, and church. If you want to put your friends and family and your church members in jail, you see the danger of the Ponzi scheme? So as soon as you hear it, as soon as you smell it, call it out. Call it out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How often should you change the password, should passwords be changed on an account? Well, my job, for instance, changes it every. It's annoying, but my job changes it every 6 months. I think for like my job, like they're, when your jobs are very diligent about cybersecurity, so they make you change your password all the time. It's like I'm changing my password on my job probably 3, 4 times a year. So either once a quarter or once every 6 months. It's your call. It's your call. Yeah, you make your passwords easy so you won't forget, but then the con man comes in and remembers it too. Be careful, Auntie Yvonne. Like I said before, put it in a safe space. Write them down in a safe space. Yeah, yeah. Community based organizations that sell things. Nah. Any, Anything that requires recruitment is a pyramid scheme. Anything that's fake investment is a Ponzi scheme. Number nine, we're talking about the number nine, small business financial fraud, embezzlement, misuse. So this is what Usain Bolt went through. This is what Usain Bolt went through. He had his money in a reputable institution. This wasn't financial fraud from somebody that created a Ponzi scheme. This is supposed to be a reputable institution, and this institution had people who worked for them stealing. So if you said so, number nine, small business financial fraud. You have people working for you who have access to your credit cards, who has access to your financial statements, who have access to your passwords. You better have people who you trust. And you better have checks and balances on the people who you work with. Because what happened is a lot of white collar crime come from the employees of these financial institutions stealing money. And that's what happened that's what I'm hearing happen in Usain Bolt's situation. Somebody, trusted employees, stole his money, embezzled his money, misused money. Be careful. Be careful. Those of you who have access, people who have access to a lot of money that's not yours. You work at a church and you're the treasurer. You work as a financial, CFO of an institution. You better be very honest. You better practice being honest in the smallest things, because if they lie, they could steal. And if they could steal, they could kill. So if be careful of who you interact with. If they are liars, if they're good at lying, don't they can't have access to your money, because if they lie, they can steal. Right? If I was to hire somebody, I wouldn't hire a liar, because a liar will steal, and a thief will kill. Yeah. Auntie Yvonne says Ponzi schemes steal from each other. There's always a winner and lots of losers. Absolutely. There's always a winner, lots of losers, right? And the goal is to get as much people to put in the pot so you can give to the small amount of winners and you steal from the losers. And that's the most selfish thing you could ever do. And be careful of people who would do that to you. Number 10, lastly, number 10. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. What are the warning signs of employees? Employees who lie, employees who are secretive. If you find something missing in inventory, right? Unexplained expenses on the card. You have to be diligent, though. You would have to be a diligent boss. And like I said before, you would have to be somebody who's diligent in their money management. Usain Bolt was obviously diligent in his money management. That's how he was able to catch it. If he didn't catch it, because remember, all those people lost money, but it's because somebody was diligent. They didn't just put their money someplace and leave it blindly. Don't do that. Have access to know where all your money is. Yeah. If you could lie, you could steal, you could kill. Be careful. Lastly, number 10, romantic scams. Romantic scams. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know what that is? Somebody fell in love. Somebody met somebody on a romantic app. Somebody met somebody and started dating somebody, and they get scammed out their money. Be careful of those dating apps. Be careful of dating strangers. Somebody asks you for money, say no, and then possibly break up with them. I'm talking about people who you've dated for a couple of months asking you for thousands of dollars. That's a romance scam. That's somebody who wines you and dines you, make you feel rarely connected, and then they tell you about some hard times. Be careful of people who try to appeal to your emotions and ask you for money. That can be a romantic scammer, that can be a family scammer, that can be a friend scammer. Be careful of people. Listen, mm-mm-mm. I believe in financial boundaries. Financial boundaries. Be careful of people who appeal to your emotions and then ask you for a high amount of money. Right? That means they try to groom you. They're grooming you to steal. Set up boundaries and observe people very well. All right? Number number 10, romantic scammers. Yeah, Corey, if someone asks you for money before they even ask your name, it's a huge red flag. It's very simple, Auntie Yvonne. Just say no. Say no to the romantic scams, number 10. Number 9, be very diligent with your employees. Watch those who work for you. Don't let them embezzle your money. Be diligent with your money. Number 8, don't trust anybody coming up with Ponzi schemes or pyramid schemes, because that's another common type. Number 7, financial takeovers. Take care of your passwords. Take care of your passwords. Don't make your passwords easy, and don't duplicate your passwords. Especially, it's okay to maybe duplicate your passwords with similar things like 2 social media accounts or so, but do not duplicate your passwords with one with very important types of accounts. Number 6, take care of your credit card information. Guard your credit card information. Now you don't even have to swipe anymore. There used to be gas stations where they would steal your swipe. Now you have a little thing where you could just cardless. Don't even have to do that. Number 4, be careful of your tax information, your personal information, where somebody can steal your taxes. That's another common type, stealing your taxes. Do not give advance checks, meaning do not take somebody's check and pay them back in cash. That is fake check fraud. Sometimes they don't even they're not real, and you're giving your money away with not getting any money in return. We call that cashier's check or fake check fraud. Number 2, the advance fee fraud. That's finder's fees. If you're paying somebody before they actually do the job, that is fraudulent. Don't do that. Number 1, lastly, identity theft. That's using your bank number, your credit card number, some kind of way to put stuff on your information without even behaving like you. Basically, putting credit card information, um, like getting another credit card in your name. All right, this was a nice conversation. This was a great conversation. Like you said, only trust God. That's right. Trust God alone. Trust God alone. Everybody else, you must put healthy financial boundaries. And you protect the elderly and protect the young. Protect the elderly because they get stolen from a lot. Protect the young, they get fraud, they get things put in their name, or they they get stolen from a lot. The young and the elderly. Mhm. Mhm. It's been great. Like I said before, don't forget to Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can find Phenomenal STEMist on Amazon.com right now. How to guide or become a successful STEM student from the womb to the university. Yeah. Thank you. I'll be back next Monday. Math Money Mondays. I used to do this at 8 o'clock before, and I stopped and did it the other days. But I'm back on Mondays. I call it Math Money Mondays. You guys have a good night. See you.